Morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the party, pal. Excuse me. Nice to see you all here this morning. We have a few interesting trades going on this morning, a few interesting things happening in the big market out there. Going to be kind of busy around here. It's going to be somewhat entertaining, to say the least. Welcome all to the program. Thank you all for being here. I can't emphasize enough how much I appreciate you watching me and hanging out with us. If you're an option writer, today could be a very, very good day for you, depending if you play it right. And if you remember the big picture about why it is you're here and you do what you do, you could be very well compensated for your actions today and going forward. Um, I want you to understand something right off the get-go, guys. If you're trying to make money in this market as an option writer, you have to remember the one thing, the one little thing that you have in your back pocket that all the gamblers who are up against you don't have. And that one thing that you have that they don't have is called time. You have time to add to your positions, to your trades, to give you the premium increase or the payoff to ultimately pull off the trade in your favor. I was saying to my friends here, the Gold Bagel members of this channel, on our pre-alert show, we were going over a couple of things here, and you got to understand that if you are writing options, say call options against stock you own, the whole point of it is to bring in cash against the opportunity for someone to sell you their or buy their shares from you. Excuse me. Where you're saying to someone like say with GameStop, if stock on Friday was $21, a stock a few weeks ago was $25. If you're writing $30 calls on GameStop that are expiring this week or this month or next month or 3 months around, 8 months around, you were paid a premium to offer your shares for sale for $30 a share. This morning, with the stock at 18.01 right now, no one is going to buy your stock from you at $30 a share. Okay. Well, what do? Well, if you wrote those calls for, let's say you wrote the calls for $4. This morning, they should be less than $1 a piece. They might be in the 50-cent range because they're out of the money substantially. With how little time is left, they could be worth nothing right now. What an opportunity. You buy them back for next to nothing. Turn around this morning and write new calls. But you're saying, Bruce, no, I'm afraid. I don't want to write new calls. I don't want them to take my stock away from me. Take your stock away from you? Buy your stock away from you. That's what you have to be thinking. And you have to say to yourself, okay, well, hold it a second. We're sitting at $18 a share, Bruce. What are you talking about? I'm buying back my 30s, or I'm buying back my 25s. I'm buying back my 27s. I'm buying back my 22s. I wrote these calls in the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, at prices, ridiculous prices. I should buy them back. What do I do now? Well, you have choices. Why don't you consider writing $20 call options this morning? And you're going, $20 call options? I don't want to offer my stock for only $20. Well, if you look forward in time as the market gets ready to open up, you look at the option chain, you might find a shocking little discovery there that, you could perhaps write $20 call options on your GameStop shares expiring January 25, like 5 months from now, and haul in one hell of a nice cash premium because gamblers out there are willing to pay you a premium to get that $20 strike price call because in their head, they're thinking the stock could go back to 30 and this $20 call will be worth $10 plus premium. I might get $12 for this sucker. But what do they got to pay you to get it? Well, if they have to pay you $4 this morning, $5 this morning, you might be the person saying, well, why don't I take that $4 or $5? I just bought back some calls for 50 cents that I wrote for $3, $4, $5 a few weeks ago, a month ago. Why don't I now take $5, $4 from these gamblers, give them 3 to 6 months of time to take me out at 20? Go ahead. Because we are saying to them, if you give me $5 for this contract, and $20, you're giving me $25 for a stock that is right now at $18 a share. Now, is it correct? Is it justified? Is it the will of the Lord, if there is one, that the stock is 18 and should be at 18? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're here to make money. And as an option writer, you're here to write options that are worthless, that are going to become worthless if the stocks don't do much. $20 call right now on GameStop is worthless. It has no book value. If you can get a premium for it, a substantial premium for it, you might be the person smart enough to take that off the table and say, I'll take the $5. I gave them 50 cents this morning. I'll take $5 now this way and say, thank you, sir. Anytime. You can have my stock for $20. If the shares go to $21 this Friday, you're not going to shed a tear. Why should you shed a tear? You're sitting there going, take me out. Buy me at $20. I got 5. Give me 20 more. I get 25 a share for a stock that's trading at $21. All day long you can have it. Because guess what I'm going to do? The minute my broker tells me, hey, you were taken out of $20, here's your $20 a share. Oh, you can keep the 5 you got. 25 a share. It's trading at 21. Let us know what you want to do. I think I know what you should do. You might want to consider, I don't know. I know. Buy back the stock for $21 and say, thank you. I still have $4 cash left over per share. I just bought that. Can I buy more shares at 21 than I had before? I had 1,000 shares. I wrote 10 calls. I brought in $5,000. They took me out. I got 25,000 cash. I could buy 1,000 shares for $21,000. There's 4,000 left in my bank account. The stock's at 21. Can I wrestle up a couple hundred more dollars and buy another 200 shares? I have 1,200 shares now. And what should I do? Oh gosh darn, gee, maybe I'll write $23 call options for next January for $5 each. Since the stock's at 21, a contract, $2 out of money, should be going for about $5 each. Again, I'm using this overall game plan. My numbers might be off a bit, but that's the general idea here. You're bringing in $5 a share, 1,200 shares. You just brought in $6,000. So now you're sitting on 6,000 cash, stock at 21, and you're going, what do I do now? And a week later, the stock is at $24 a share. And you get bought out. You get taken out. And you're going, okay, take me out. The stock goes to 25 and you wrote 24s and they took you out. Thank you. You wrote 23s, they take you out. You're going, thank you. 23 plus 5 is $28 I just got paid. And it's trading at 24. Okay, I'll buy all my stock back at 24. I got this extra cash lying around. I'll buy another couple of hundred. I got 1,400 shares now. That's right, 14 contracts for $5 each. You don't have to worry about it. The gamblers on the option floor are taking all the chances, and yet they're winning. Believe it or not, these guys are winning on their trades, and so are you, because you're writing out of the money calls that have a limited time frame for a big wad of dough, and you're daring them to I dare you to take me out. I would love it if you took me out. 4 times over, 4 weeks in a row, you take me out. I'll go from 1,000 shares to 2,000 shares. And if they go to $30 a piece, thank you very much. I'm now writing 20 at a time. There's a strategy. Option writers are not afraid to be bought out. If you're going to sit here and say, Bruce, I really can't take it anymore. I'm really all wound up here. But, I believe in the option game. I just can't find the way to win this option game. Maybe a strategy you could employ is to sell your GameStop right now at $18, like after the opening. But the moment you make the move, you immediately write cash secured puts on your GameStop. In other words, you're selling the stock and instantly offering to buy it back. That's all you're doing. Nothing personal. It's not an admission of a loss or of defeat or anything. You're just saying to the market, I'll sell you my stock for $18. And then you turn around and you've written, say, $18 cash secured puts, good till January 2025. And you're saying, I'm willing to buy them back for $18. you're going to get paid a premium. Of course, you might get $5 a share premium for that. So you take the $5 a share plus the 18 you just got, you have $23 a share cash in your account. And you're sitting there going, I'll buy them back for $18 less the 5 I just got. I'm paying 13 to buy them back. So you, the nice guy, the nice girl, are going, yeah, sure. I just got out of 18, turned around, wrote 18s, got a $5 premium for it. Great, I'll buy them back for $13. Now, you'll check the option chain to see what the contracts are going for, what the market is doing, and all. I'm just throwing you generic, at the moment, examples and guesstimated numbers. None of this is written in stone. It's my opinion that you're listening to, but these are strategies, all right? You're listening to my strategies here. So if you make that move and the stock goes up to $20, you might say, oh, geez, if I held the stock, I'd be at $20 a share. I would be up $2 a share. True. It's true. But of course, you wrote the contract for $5 and it's now worthless because the stock went up. You don't care it's worthless. You don't give a crap that it's worthless. As a matter of fact, you're happy that it's worthless. Why? Its only value is time value. And now that it's out of the money, $2, it's likely going to lose $1 of value right away. Now, 3 days later, at the end of the week, we're at $22 a share. $22. So your contract is $4 out of the money. It's likely going to trade at about $2 now because it's a ton out of the money. Oh, and a week has gone by. A little bit of shrinkage. You buy back for $2, you scored a $3 gain. That's going from $18 to $21 a share, right? Stock went to 22. And you're looking at me going, yeah, Bruce, you cost me $1 a share, you bastard. How you made me do this? And I'm going, hold it a second. You're not done yet. You just bought back your cash secured put, the 18, for $2 that you sold for $5. You are now writing a new cash secured put. We're not done yet. You're going to write a new cash secured put. What's the market at? $22 a share. You're going to write $22 cash secured puts or 21s because that's how much money you have. $21 a share handy. You'll write 21s. Dollar in the money. Ooh, what a lovely person you are. For January, you'll get $5-6 for those. And you'll add that to your cash and you'll just sit there and fold your arms and go, keep going up. You want to keep going up? Great. The higher the shares go, the lower these puts become, and I will score a gain on these puts. But if the shares sit here at 21, 22 for a while, say for a month, they don't do much. They kind of go up and down a buck or two, buck or two, buck or two, buck or two. They sit around here. This contract will shrink in value. You'll eventually buy these back for less than you paid for them. The shares have a spike. They run up to 26. Your $22, $21 cash secured puts, they'll go down to $1.50, $2. You'll buy them back again. Keep the change. You say, thank you. I've taken off another bunch of bucks per share. That's fine. I don't care the stock spiked to 26. You might just close your position out on a Friday, wait until Monday's opening, and notice on the next Monday, oh, we're down $2 this morning. We shouldn't have gone to 26. We're back to 24. You might now write brand new cash secured puts at 24, 23 and bring in another $5 a share and constantly sit on cash, and say to the stock, go up, go down, stay where you are. I am taking the money. In the meantime, all the cash in my account is earning interest on a daily basis. And I don't have to worry about the rest of the world out there. That's a way to play this market. Another way to play this market, the GameStop's at $18 a share, and you have written credit spreads. You wrote put credit spreads. You didn't listen to me. You did not listen to me. You heard me, and you knew that for weeks and weeks, Uncle Bruce begged you, please only write put credit spreads under 20 a share. Please. And when they reach 25, 26, 27, I mentioned 21s, maybe 22s, maybe. But you're better off at 19, 16, 19, 17, 2018, lower. If you want to do a $5 put credit spread, 20 to 15, something like, get a credit, get a really nice credit. Now we're at $18 a share. those of you who have written puts at 18, 19, 20, 21, some of you are in the money on these. You don't want to be in the money on these. But the good news is that your credit spread that you wrote brought you a nice credit against your exposure. So if you had a $2 exposure, $200 a contract per pair, and you brought in $1, you were exposed for $1. That's your loss, $100 per pair of contract. What do you do this morning? Well, what you could do is if you have contracts expiring this Friday, next Friday, the Friday after that, you could now look at the option chain once we get started here. Watch this first 20, 30, 40 minutes, see where this market wants to go. And you might make a rollover where you may create a new credit spread with contracts a month from here, 2 weeks forward from the contracts you have expiring, 3 weeks forward, a month forward. And look to bring in a larger credit if you can on the existing spread amount and lower your contract prices. So if you've written 20 and 18s, you wrote the 20s, you bought the 18s, can you go 19, 17s 2 weeks further out? Can you go 18, 16s? Could you think of the other idea, another idea, where you know that to buy back your credit spread right now will cost you, say it'll cost you $2, where you only brought in $1. It's going to cost you $2 to close it out. But the new trade you can make could be, instead of a 2018, it could be a 1916 or a 1915 contract a few weeks further out. That gives you a wider spread, which gives you a higher cost per contract. Yes, I know, from 200 to 400. However, the credit is larger. You may find that, I can bring in 225 on a $4 spread. I can bring in 250 credit on a $4 spread, where this one will cost me $2 in credit to close out. So I'll bring in 50 cents more in cash by putting up $200 more, but it's net 150 more to pull this trade out 2 weeks further out, a month further out, and I've shifted down the option chain. And so now I'm exposed at 18 to 15, or I'm exposed 18 to 14, or 19 to 15. I have moved further down the chain. The further, the better. If you were in 1917 and you're now a 1714, or you were a 2018 and you're now going to be a 1712, that's a $500 spread. The put you're buying is so cheap that it can only lose 25, 35, 50 cents. That's all it's worth. That's the insurance cost against the premium you're going to bring for the contract you're writing. Can you bring in $3 on a put and pay 50 cents to buy a put, giving you a $250 credit? You've got to check your option chains. You've got work to do. You're option writers. That's your job now. And if you break even on the dollar amount, but you bring your spreads back, your strike prices down, or you brought in a larger credit than it cost you to close this one out, even better. On the other hand, you may find, you know what, I'm into 20 and 18s or 19 and 17s. That's what I'm into right now. I'm going to stay with those. I'm not even going to shift the strike prices. I'm just going to go forward in time a month. I'm going to bring in a larger credit into my account and have the same two strike prices, because I'm comfortable with the price at 18. I think the likelihood of the stock could be 18 to 20 or $22 a share in the next few weeks going forward. And I've given myself 5 weeks of time or 6 weeks of time to have this happen. If you're comfortable with that, fine. On the other hand, you don't move the $19 put. You only move the $17 put you owned. You replace that with a $15 put that you now own. And you've added a $4 spread you have a $4 spread instead of a $2 spread with a larger credit to compensate for the cost of this one. There are moves to be made by option writers that can make you nothing but money and guarantee you more time to win the trade. There's that. Welcome to the party, pal. We're just starting this off to see what's going to happen here. Thank you, those of you making PayPal donations to me today for the advice. Appreciate you. Look, kids, we have a lot to watch here today. At the end of the day, this is not a SoFi problem. This is not a GameStop problem. This is not an NVIDIA problem. This is not an Apple problem. You might be reading headlines all about, oh, these stocks are down, this stock is down. Warren Buffett sold Apple. He must know something. No, Warren Buffett knows nothing. Warren Buffett knows to buy stock cheap, hold it forever, and make money. And on his Apple trades, he made money on a decade plus investment, if not longer. No, what we have happening here today is what is called a carry trade problem. And you've heard this term, you've heard it from time to time, you don't quite know what it means, or you thought you knew what it means. Carry trade problems. Carry trade problems are where in the last 5 years, well, especially the last couple of years, what we've had happen here is hedge funds and investment entities that are specialized in managing other people's money. All right, and they're not bad guys. These are good people. These are wonderful folks. They're wonderful, very rich people handling other wonderful, very rich people's money. Smart money, as they say. Smart money has been borrowing money from Japanese banks for decades. Why? Because Japanese banks charge very little interest for their loans, or at least they had been. Japanese depositors would get negative interest on their money every year. And yet they would make money because the yen would gain on the US dollar. And they would be richer with the currency they had. And all imports into Japan kept dropping in cost because the yen kept going up in value. That's why you noticed the Previa van or the other vehicles from Japan coming up, made in Japan, importing in America, would go up 5-6% a year in price, even though there's only 2% inflation. That all ended a couple of years ago when interest rates in the U.S. started to go up because of inflation. Interest rates in the U.S. went up, and Japan's rates did not. And there was this gap, this bigger gap. And what began to happen? The yen began to lose money against the American dollar. And so smart people, again, hedge fund people are smart people. Senior investment advisors, institutional investors began to figure out if we borrowed money from banks in Japan, we would be borrowing money in yen. We would take that dough, convert it into American money, and use that money to buy NVIDIA and buy Apple and buy the Magnificent Seven. Getting in on this AI thing and other AI stocks and the overall stock market, because under Biden's economy in the United States, you had a growing economy in the USA. You had Americans outperforming the rest of the world on a GDP level. And the American dollar was gaining strength all over the place. And even with higher interest rates, as a matter of fact, with higher interest rates, the American currency went up in value. Because why wouldn't you buy U.S. Treasury notes that paid you 4.5% interest rather than holding German Treasury notes that paid you 2% interest, or Japanese that paid you 0.5% in interest? You'd be crazy. Why don't you borrow money from Japanese banks for a point, and just buy U.S. Treasuries with it? You'll win. Or why don't you buy NVIDIA and Apple and Microsoft and the Magnificent Seven stocks and win on that trade? Because there was a compounding effect for these gamblers. First, they borrowed money from Japanese banks in yen. The yen is falling against the American dollar, which meant that the loan money you owed was worth less money in US dollars every month, every day, every week. So you borrowed $1 billion, and 3 months later, you only needed $950 million to pay off that loan if you wanted to at 1% interest. If the dollar kept strengthening against the yen, the loan would go down to $900 million. In other words, you borrowed $1 billion and you only got to give $900 million back. Pretty dang good. Now, if you took the $1 billion and bought NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and other Magnificent Seven stocks, and you made 20% gain on that, you took $1 billion, turned into $1.2 billion. You got $1.2 billion. You only own $900 million against it. You're up $300 million. And if that isn't good enough, how about this game? There's the derivatives market. One of the derivatives market that's out there that we know about is called the options market. the one that we watch and the one that we are involved in. There's another derivatives market. It's the over-the-counter derivatives market that is the unregulated derivatives market, where hedge funds for like with $1 billion in cash can leverage it up 5 times and buy $5 billion of NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, you name it. They make 20% on $5 billion. They made $1 billion in profit. They owe $900 million on the loan. They're up $1.1 billion, having started with a $1 billion loan. What do you do now? This is 2022. You know what you do now? You borrow another couple of billion from the Japanese banks. You keep this game going, baby, because why would you as an hedge fund manager be willing to risk and borrow this dough from Japanese banks on a leveraged basis because of this market? The reason is you get 2% of the value of the account as your management fee to cover all your expenses, and then you get 20% of the upside action. And if your firm is going to make a $1.2 billion gross profit for the house, for everybody involved, 1.1, 1.2 billion, 20% comes to the firm, that's $220 million. So your hedge fund just brought in $220 million in profits, and all the partners get payoffs, all the employees get bonuses, everyone's happy here. And what do you have left? Well, you happen to have a hedge fund that's now sitting on $100 million of added cash because everyone else got their bonuses. What do you do with the cash? Well, why don't we buy a Bombardier jet? Why don't we buy a Gulfstream at $80 million luxury liner, fly our multi-millionaire, billionaire clients around and show them how much we love them, and they'll give us even more of their money to manage. And we'll borrow even more money from the banks in Japan, and we'll even leverage this thing up even more. So that next year we don't make $1 billion, we make a profit of $3 billion, of which we get $600 million, 20% of the action. This is the American way. This is how you make your dough. It's so easy. And with the yen dropping and dropping and dropping, the $5 billion you borrowed from the Japanese banks are only $4 billion to pay off. You're not worried. You're running $25 billion of assets over here, making you nothing but 10, 15% a year. You're making a killing over here. What's an $80 million jet between friends? Maybe we get a second one. One we keep in Europe, one we keep in the United States. Is this a great country? What? I like this game. They love this game. Until one thing happens. The one thing. What is that? Well, the one thing is where the Bank of Japan goes, okay, our yen was at 115 to the dollar a few years ago. This July 4th long weekend in America, the yen hit 161. It looked like it was going to 165. That's 50 points higher against the US dollar in 3 years. How many trillions of dollars have been borrowed from our banks, the Bank of Japan is asking, to foreign investors who are betting against the yen? How many trillions? We're not talking billions for one client, maybe a couple of billion, maybe 10 billion, 3 billion, sure. All the clients globally. This is not just American hedge funds are doing this. German hedge funds, Swiss hedge funds, the UK, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Italy, Singapore, China, South Korea, Japanese hedge funds. Who isn't playing this game? Everyone is playing the carry trade. Who isn't gambling on NVIDIA? Everyone's gambling on NVIDIA. Who isn't gambling on the Magnificent Seven? Everyone is gambling on the Magnificent Seven. Everyone's in on the trade as long as the trade works. The problem is when the yen goes from 161 to 151, which is what it did last week, you have loans outstanding that were $4 trillion that are now $3.3 trillion or $4.4 trillion IOUs. And this week, this morning, right now, where's the yen now? Have you seen today's chart on the yen? Well, let's take a peek together, shall we? Let's get a little handle on this. What have we got ourselves into here? Well, I think this is today's chart, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look at this. Let's see if I can pop this thing up. This is from July 30th until August the 5th. The yen from 155 down to 140 something. Well, let's take another little look over at another chart. How about this chart? What has the yen been doing lately? Well, here we go. May 6th, 155, June 3rd, 155, June 17th, 157, July 1, 161, 2 something. And now look at it over here on July 29, 30, August 5. Look at that. Oops. This is called, we have a term for this around here. When something does this, zzz, that's what it is. Zzz. We have a problem, Houston. We have an issue here where the yen, look at this, September 2023, under 140, November, just over 150, January, back to 140, and now look at it from the 142 level, Jan 24, all the way up to July. Ooh, gee, that was a good run, wasn't it? Well, what do you think the market did in the United States during this time frame? From January this year until early July of this year. What do you think the S&P 500 did? What do you think the NASDAQ did? What do you think the Dow did? This carry trade went ballistic, and look at the pullback. See how things go down faster than they go up? We now have a 20-25% liquidity problem here on the possibility of $4 trillion perhaps, $4 trillion with a 25% problem. That's a $1 trillion problem. This is a chart for the last 3 years. Jan 21, 22, Jan 22, 23, look at it, 23, 24, look at it. Sometimes there are dips and recoveries. Is this dip a little dipper and we're going to go back up again? Or is this the beginning of the end? Ooh, this problem here that I see right now is if there's a $4 trillion banking issue going on, and all of a sudden people owe Japanese banks $1 trillion more than they owed them a month ago, that trillion has to come from somewhere else. Now, here's the issue. Here's the catch. There's always one catch. Okay, the bank loans are $1 trillion under, but the $4 trillion lent out and borrowed was leveraged 5-to-1 in the equity market through derivatives and stock trades. That's a $20 trillion play. Now we got us another problem. If the markets are off 15% from the highs to the lows, this portion of the market, not the whole market, this $25 trillion portion of the market is now off $4 trillion. The first $4 trillion you get back covers your losses. Now you need $1 trillion to pay off the loans. This selling begats selling begats selling. It begins a domino effect that goes down the line. And at the end of the day, how many Japanese banks are going to be upside down because they're over leveraged on loans to stock players, investors, investment outfits around the world that have gambled on the carry trade and have lost quickly? This is what I want to know. That's why we're here. That's why I'm looking at you guys going, it's a good thing you're option writers. Because if you weren't option writers, you'd be gamblers. You'd be option gamblers. And all of your options right now would be in real trouble because every call option out there on whatever stock you want to talk about is probably down right now. But because you're option writers, you follow me and you take my classes and you tolerate this old man's face with no hair left and whatever it is white, and you listen to him and he says to you, you've got to be conservative option writers to survive in these markets. And because many of you, most of you do, you're going to be sitting there like this going, what a day we're going to have us today. Thank you, Uncle Bruce, for showing me the way to stay the hell out of this gambler game, this den of misery that is out there right now. I wrote call options, Bruce. I own shares of a company I used to work for. I wrote call options against this stuff, and they're now sitting at 10 cents on the dollar, 20 cents on the dollar. I'm going to buy them back this morning, and I'm going to turn around and write new call options that are out of the money but reflective of the market. It's okay. I'm not scared about being bought out. I'll write calls out of the money on Tesla, or out of the money on Intel, or out of the money on Apple or Microsoft or Meta. It's okay with me. I got laid off from Amazon a year ago. They let me go, and they handed me my shares. Are all vested. I got 5,000 shares of Amazon. I write 50 calls at a time. The last batch I wrote, I'm being taken out on those now. Thank you, sir. May I have another? I'm buying those back. I'm going to buy my I don't know what I wrote. Let me take a look here. We're at 154 on Amazon this morning. We're down $8. In the last year, the shares are over 200, or at 200 a share. The last time you wrote calls, they were 210s, 200s. You wrote them in like a month or so ago. You wrote 180s, 175s. Stock's now 154. Those contracts you wrote are out of the money by a mile. They're going to die worthless. They're probably under $1 now. You're going to buy them back. What are you going to write this morning on Amazon? What call options should you write this morning? 160s, 165s. Bruce, I can't write 160s. That's too close to the market. No, it's not. It's out of the money. Write a 1 month, 1.5 months, 2 month contract for 160. Take the premium. You'll probably get $5 a share for those. You're writing 160s and getting 5. You're offering your stock at 165. It's 154.75 right now. Wait an hour after we open. If we're sitting at 158, maybe you'll write 165s, 68s. 2-3 months out, bring in 5 or up to $10 a share. Can you bring in $10 a share on your stock? I'd do it. Yeah, 168 plus 10 is 178. Offer your stock at 178. What a wonderful person you are. These contracts haven't got a hope in hell, because we're going to have days of selling here, maybe weeks of consolidation here. We got damage control here. We got hedge funds that are blowing up all over the place. Not that you're going to get a phone call from anybody telling you that. We're going to have to watch this information on the markets the next few days and weeks. Same thing on NVIDIA, 94.74 right now. We're down $12 a share. Carnage. Yeah, absolutely. If you've written put credit spreads on NVIDIA and you followed me and you listened to me and you said, he's right, I'm doing 85.95, so I'm going to do hundreds to 90s. I'm going to do 90s to 80s. I am going to back away from that campfire. I'm not going to get too close to that campfire. Even if you are right now into 98s and 93s right now, and your puts are in the money, it's okay. It's all right. You're going to do a rollover. You're going to let this market open up. You're going to let it figure itself out in the first 20, 30, 40 minutes. And then you're going to do a rollover. And what is the rollover? You're going to go forward in time, your kryptonite against everybody else. You're going to grab more time and write a credit spread forward in time, 1 week, 2 weeks, a month. And you're going to move your strike prices lower, if possible. And you're going to break even on the trade. Great, you break even on your trade. It's going to cost you, I don't know, $3 to get your credit spread back, but you're going to get $3 or $3.20 on the next credit spread with a slight reduction in prints on the strike prices, because time is giving it to you. You're going to take advantage of that. Giddy up, everybody. Welcome to the party, pal. I'm glad you're here. If you're an option writer, you've got so many ways to play this game forward to win in the end. Ultimately win in the end. Those of you buying back calls this morning are cashing in beautifully. Some of you might turn around and write cash secured puts immediately on a bunch of this stuff. Some of you are going to bring cash in. You're going to buy back calls, write new calls, bring in a lot of additional money, and that money is going to go to buy more stock to write more options against, or you're going to sell shares. Let's say you sell your NVIDIA right now, $94 a share, and you're going to turn around and buy deep in the money call options out till 2026 for half the price of these contracts with a 90-10 rule that we talk about here all the time, and you are now going to get your hands on double the number of contracts representing double the number of shares than you have right now. And then what? You're going to write double the number of contracts you wrote the last time. You're going to write 100s for a month or two out and take in huge gobs of cash against an asset that might run you $45, $50. You're shopping, you're looking, you have work to do. This is what you've got to be thinking right now. You're managing your capital to make it more capital. That's what this game is all about. If you're doing it on credit spreads, you're doing it on credit spreads. If you're going to do it on cash secured puts, you're going to work into cash secured puts. Absolutely. Welcome everyone to the show. I'm glad you're here. We have work to do today, kids. This market is showing us opportunities. Apple is down $20 a share to $1.99. Many of you were out there going, "Ooh, I wish it would go back under 200. I sure missed the boat on that, Apple. I promise the next time it goes back there, I'm not going to let the opportunity pass me by." Well, the opportunity has arrived. The high for the 52-week range, Apple all-time high, 237.23. We're now at $199 a share, $38 off. It's a sale, almost 20% below the high of the year. Hi, everybody. Not a bad idea to think about a hold for the next 5 years on Apple at $199. Might not be a bad time. Look, can the shares go lower? Yeah, sure. Can they go to $185? Yes. Yes, they can. Will they? I don't know. Will they touch 191 for a moment and then at the end of the night tonight be 199 again? That could happen. Sure, it can. Could be a 204 tonight for all we know. We don't know for sure. But if you're an option player, a writer, you don't care. You write and you roll. You write, buy back, rewrite constantly. Thank you for these opportunities, is what you say. I just bought more SoFi, says Cindy B. There's an opportunity. It's knocking as well, isn't it? Isn't it interesting what SoFi has been doing this morning? $5.97 a share. The company just posted their profits last week, Tuesday morning. Record revenues, record earnings. How many more members? 8.8 million members on fire. If rates go down, what is everyone yelling at on the screens right now? What's happening at Bloomberg, CNBC, Fox Business? What are they all talking about? They all want the Fed to reduce interest rates. If the Fed reduces interest rates this week, next month, anytime by the end of the year, guess which stocks win? Bank stocks. The bankers, those who lend money. SoFi lends money. They make even more money. They'll have to revise their financials up again. Stock at $6 a share. It was a joke at $7. It's a laughing stock at $8. It's a super deal at $9. It's trading at $6.05. What can I say? Matterport sub 4. Another opportunity to score a 550 takeout stock. I bought it for $5.93, says Cindy. I got SoFi at $5.93. We're $6.05 right now. Way to go, Cindy. Beautiful. You buy when everyone else is selling. It's that simple. Write options when you get the chance and score on the deal. Thank you all so very much. Kelly, hi Bruce. I have $29. I've got two $29 cash ticket puts on GameStop that expire Jan 25. I bought these in June, or did you write them in June? You wrote them in June, right? What's my best play right now? That's the question. Well, you wrote them, and the shares were at a higher price than they are now. I'm guessing. I don't know. You brought in cash, and if you were to get exercised, you'll pay what, 25, 24, 23 for them? Is that what's going to happen? What do you do now, if anything? Do you sit here? Do you make a move? Do you just wait it out? Right now, you're sitting on cash. You're sitting on cash for the $29 contracts. That's $5,800 cash. You got cash to write them. I don't know if you're sitting on that cash or not. You might have invested in something else. I don't know. It's okay. And you're pulling in daily interest on your money. You're not being exercised. You can just fold your arms and do nothing. You could. The stock's at $18.55 right now in the pre-market. If they're sitting at 18 to 20 most of the morning this morning, you don't have to do much of anything. In theory, you could say, well, why don't I buy back these cash secured puts, these Jan 25s, and write Jan 26s instead? A $29 strike price, or a $28 strike price, or a $27. Can you roll your cash secured puts where you buy back these for the 29s and then write 25 25s or 26s further out in time for as much money as it costs you to buy these. So let's say you pay, I don't know what you have to pay, 7 to get 7. You break even on the dollars, but you win on the strike price because you bring it down towards the market. Look into this. Again, I don't know what you have to do. Right now, the 29s are obviously worth almost $11 each. So they're probably trading at $12, $13. Can you bring $12, $13 into your hands for a Jan 26 $25 cash secured put? That would bring you 4 closer to the market for no added cost, just the time. If it's worth your while, great. If not, sit tight and wait. There you have it. Let's see how this goes. James Barnaby Fishing. Uncle Bruce, I've been rolling my PCS short term for weeks and looking for an exit. They're going down faster than I can roll. I have Microsoft August 9, 377.50s and 387.50s, and August 18, 370. These are cash secured puts or cash put credit spreads. Pardon me. 375.85 for the 16th. Roll further out than a week at a time. Yes, you may want to do exactly that. You might want to make a move where you with Microsoft around 387. You definitely want to move, roll forward and roll lower and strike. Absolutely. Go forward a month, 2 months. Look for the premium, shop it, but don't make the move in the first second of the opening. Let this market figure itself out and then pick your spots, because everything is adjustable on these contracts and, of course, the contracts you're moving into. But yes, that's what I would do. Let's see. Cindy, James, I feel you. I have AMD that have been in the money for a while. Already bought back my calls on my iron condor. Wouldn't be surprised if I could exercise. Dude, you add them when you want. Let's see. As long as it's the expiring same spread distance, there should be no added buying power. Take the credit spread and iron condor lesson. There you go. Thank you all for being here this morning. VIX hit a high of 65 this morning. There you go. People wondering how bad is this? How widespread is this whole deal right now? Let's see. What else? Good morning from Luca. Guys, Uncle Bruce, I need your opinion here. I need to roll my covered calls on SoFi. My average is 7.5, and I wrote 8 out to I wrote out to Jan 25. I'm getting margin called again, and with today's sell-off, should I write 7s out to Jan 26? So if you can buy back your higher calls that you wrote because the stock's dropping, you could now write 7s and bring in more cash and go out further. Bring in cash. If that's what you have to do, worth your while. Otherwise, buy back your calls, sell your shares, and write cash secured puts instead, and write $6 cash secured puts on SoFi, or $5 cash secured puts out to Jan 26, and win on that trade and take the schneid off the margin account. Again, I don't know the position of your account, so it's your call to make how to figure this out. Okay. Lots of questions, lots of wondering what's going on here. Let's see what's going on. Again, thank you everyone for being here, and I appreciate you being here. We have got thumbs ups coming in so far. Looks like we're now at 94. Thank you. We're opening in 12 minutes. The poll question is going on right now. With today's sell-off, I'm going to roll my call and put spreads or options for added cash. Thank you, gamblers. 65% are going, yeah. Out of the 204 of you who've answered this question, 65 are saying, yes, sir, Bruce. I am going to buy back calls and puts today, and I'm going to roll into different contracts for more cash in my hand. Only 35% are saying I'm not going to do that. Well done, each and every one of you. Thank you for being here this morning and following me. On top of this market, if you're an option writer, you're going, okay, yeah, market's down. Yeah, okay, market's down. Markets go up, markets go down. I am going to win on this trade. Thank you, sir. May I have another? I'm not worried about this. As a matter of fact, the more the market gets volatile, the more money I make. Thank you, each and every one of you. Let's take a look at some of our favorites right now, see what's going on. We have right now a 62-cent drop on Rocket Lab, 419. SoFi is down 64 to 601. GameStop down 257, 1850. Matterport down just 24 cents now, 396, but under the 4 level. 23andMe down a penny. We've got Spire down 146 to 1057. ATI Physical Therapy, no change. ATIP Smart Rent down a dime at 161. Apple down 2036. Tesla down 1871. Microsoft down 1789. Alphabet down 843, Amazon down 1220, Nvidia down 1207. Meta Platforms down $38 a share at 450 a share on Facebook. Goldman Sachs down $20 to 450. Cisco up a nickel. ARC Innovations down 363. Pfizer down 173. HPQ down 160. Unity down 159. AI down 274. We've got Adobe down 1828. The spiders are down 1871 to 514 apiece. Netflix down 1760. The triple Qs are down 21 to 427. IBM is off 568 to 183.45. We got Vanik Semiconductors off 1650 to 201.90. Home Depot down 908. Enphase down 803. Palantir down $3. Uber down $4. That's where we are. The carry trade is having its effect on every stock. This is not a SoFi problem. This is not a GameStop problem. This is not U.S. equity stock type problem. This is a market that is overexposed on carry trades by tens of thousands of institutional traders, most likely representing trillions. I don't know if it's 1 trillion, 5 trillion, 20 trillion. I don't know how big it is, and I don't know how over leveraged the leverage is. But my hunch is it's worse than anyone wants to admit. It's worse because it's an unregulated market. It's worse because no institution wants to show their books right now, and no politician has the balls to put legislation in place that will regulate the derivatives market, because if your country regulates it and other countries don't, everyone shifts their money to the country where no one regulates it. And so the games and shenanigans continue on. Congress has been wrapped around the finger of the major bankers. Senate is all wrapped up. Lobbyists all over Washington control the roost, and the American taxpayer may have to bail out hedge funds, depending on how big they are. On the other hand, it may well be that hedge funds won't be bailed out by the taxpayer. They'll go under. They'll then put banks under pressure, and they'll be bailed out. Depends on what country we're talking about. This is the unwinding of the carry trade. The Japanese yen is getting crushed in the open market, and the American dollar isn't gaining at the moment either, but the markets are losing ground like crazy. Let me take a look at international currencies. The euro is at 109.90, almost ahead a tenth of a cent, nothing serious. The yen is at 142.30, down 4.25 yen today. This is a 2-year move today. The pound at 127.80, down a fifth of a penny at the moment. The dollar index is under tremendous pressure right now. The VIX is sitting at 57 right now, up 33 on the day, 143% gain on the VIX. This is bad. Oil down 70 cents a barrel, not going higher. The Dow is showing a 1.5% drop, 610 points with 7 minutes to go. S&P down 100 points, 1.8%. NASDAQ down 417 points, down 2.3%. NASDAQ was worse than this and has partially recovered. The S&P has partially recovered. The Dow has definitely partially recovered from its lows of the morning so far. In Europe, the London market down 2.7%, Germany down 2.1%, France down 2.3%, Italy is down 3.5% easily, Spain is down 2.8%. Asia markets are closed. The Asia Dow lost 6.7%. The Nikkei 225 index, that's the Japanese Dow Jones version of the market, or their S&P 500, 12.4% drop in Japan today. Why? Because they're worried about whether or not the borrowers from the bankers, the Japanese, will pay them back. Can they afford to pay them back? The Hang Seng is down 247 points. That's Hong Kong, 1.4%. Shanghai down 1.5%. Singapore down 4%. This session so far for Monday, the Monday session. Right now, the Dow is down 1,100 points. S&P down 198, NASDAQ down 943. I gave you wrong numbers earlier. I apologize. We're down 2.7 on the Dow, 3.7 on S&P, down 5% on NASDAQ, as my systems aren't updating as quickly as I'd like them to. We're down 81 cents on crude. Make that now 91 cents on crude. If we were going into a full-blown U.S. recession and we had to really worry about it, what would be happening right now is the U.S. dollar would be plummeting against all currencies like you can't believe, and U.S. interest rates would be surging higher. That would be the problem, because people would be selling treasuries to get out of anything American. Right now, there's money coming into the U.S. treasuries, and interest rates are dropping in the United States. And so there is no call for a massive U.S. recession. The worry is that the soft landing might be a little harder than they thought. The worry is this contagion problem going to come in here? Are we going to have an issue where borrowers can't pay the lenders back in Japan, and Japan is going to have a credit crisis, which will then fuel a cascade of credit problems around the rest of the planet? China has got to be panicking right now, because China is in real trouble with the economic realities of the world itself. There you have it. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. What can I say? We're going to see what's going on and see what's going to happen here. We'll keep an eye on this market. Like I said, kids, the end of the day, you've got to be writing conservative, out-of-the-money contracts, and you have to be able to roll into additional out-of-the-money contracts and take advantage of the shrinkage from the gamblers. You cannot be too close to the market or it will nip you, and you've got to be careful about it. This is what option writers do overall, and we're going to have winners and losers, and some who are going to have some losses, and then they're going to get gains, and others who are getting some gains on these trades and some losses on these trades, and they're making their new positions, and they're going to win in the end. Time is your ally. Writing longer-term contracts is the key to bringing in the premium to help shelter you and help cover you for exposure on the market. If you're into margin, you have to be careful on that, because, of course, an underlying asset you're using to borrow against might lose value. Your trades are fine. Your option trades are just fine, but you can't carry them because the marginability of what you're using is not fine. You may have to make adjustments on your contracts. This is another thing to consider. If you're an asset manager, you're managing assets. You're not managing debts. The key to this game is to play the options market with capital that you have versus what you don't have. And that is the smartest way to go. All right. Anyway, there it is. That's the opening salvo. We're opening in 2 minutes. Welcome all to the program. How far should we go out? As far as necessary to ensure out-of-the-money positions with credits. That's what it is. If it's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, you will make the adjustments. Again, keeping in mind you want to be with an out-of-the-money position when it's all said and done. Here we go. With this blood red day, I guess we can't be selling covered calls. No, you can be selling covered calls today. Today's a great day to sell covered calls. It's a wonderful day to sell covered calls, because if you get exercised, you keep the premium. You get the price of the contract of the stock and keep the premium, and you immediately roll over, buy the stock back, and write again. No, this is a great day to be writing. Absolutely a great day to be writing. But let's see how the opening starts off, how this moves through the next first 5, 10, 15 minutes, and figure it out. We've got a lot of observing to do here. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm glad you could get here. Join me this morning. and let's see how this market wants to play itself out. Looks like Friday we dropped to 610 points on the Dow. We're going to drop a little more to start this morning off with. Let's see what it has in mind. Last indications of down 1100 on the Dow, 193 on S&P, down 900 on NASDAQ. Could we go lower? Yes. Could we drop another 1,000 tomorrow? Yes. Which means writing $20 calls on GameStop this morning might not be a bad idea, because if the stock is 16 tomorrow, you're going to be laughing that you sold 20s today. Can't tell you if it's going to do that or not. Just saying it could. I don't fear the upside at all. NVIDIA is, what I'm thinking here, 92.05, down $15 a share. We are open. Thank you, all of you who are here. Larry, thanks for hitting the bells. Flint Creek, always be ready. Get it. Got it. Yes, always be ready. Right. Thank you, Larry. Richard is here. Neat. That's right, kids. We are running. We're open. 1,000-point drop on the Dow. Let's get the party started and see what it wants to do. I see Tesla at 183 down 24. I've got Spiders down $21 at 510. I've got Microsoft at 386 down 22. I have GameStop at 1885, 1889 down about 220. I got Meta down $32. I've got AMC off 48 cents. I've got Amazon down $11 at the moment. NVIDIA down $15 a share right now. That's where we're at the moment, following a lot of activity here, of course, and we'll see just where this takes us. The RSI is at 8. Laughing out loud, says DM. We got AI down 330 at 2111. Opportunity to buy back calls like you can't believe. This is your moment to consider buying back calls on stink bits, super cheap, and immediately writing calls for a lower strike price for more money instantly to do. GameStop 1890 down 217. SoFi 608 down 57 cents. NVIDIA 9146 down 1581. Rocket Lab down 42. Matterport down 20. SmartRent down 13. ME is unchanged pretty well. Apple is down $20. Tesla down 23, Google down 970, Microsoft down 21, Netflix down 21.50, Meta down 32.80, Amazon down 11.50. Spiders are down 21.97, Qs are down 22.58. This might be the perfect morning to look at creating put credit spreads 10% behind the market from where we are now. This might be exactly where you want to go. On the call side, you want to be 15% higher than where the market is right now to be on the safe side. And again, short-term credit spreads. 1 week, this Friday, next Friday, two, 3 Fridays from now, brand new positions. That's what you want to look at. Puddin' Pie, Uncle Bruce, lesson this week. Write cover calls, get exercise, buy back, sell new cover calls, repeat. Simple, easy, a DM. At least there's volume. 3 million traded already. We do have volume. There's no doubt of that. All right, let's see where it takes us, kids. We're down at the moment 1,114 on the Dow. Let's take a look at the rest of the market. Yeah, 1,140 on the Dow, 220 on S&P, and NASDAQ down 992. The NASDAQ is down 5.9%, S&P down 4.1%, the Dow down 2.8%. So the Dow is way overperforming everyone else. Why? Because those are dividend-paying stocks. That's why. 1941 on GameStop, 1943 we're bouncing back a bit, down 164. SoFi 607, NVIDIA down 1391, slightly improving at the moment. That's what we've got. This is where we're at. This is the reality of the market. Welcome, everybody. And it has been fueled with the carry trade. This is what it is, worldwide speculation, borrowing money from banks in Japan, using yen to try to game the business of the U.S. currency gain against the yen, which stopped dead in its tracks a month ago, and trying to gain on currency equities at the same time, which American stocks, which stopped a month ago, and leveraging the whole thing with derivatives and options. And this has amplified losses for these wacky gamblers out there who are risking, in some cases, multi-billion dollars each, times tens of thousands of borrowers. And this is why trillions are on the line, and that's why this activity is happening at the moment. The poll question has received 240 votes. With today's sell-off, I'm going to roll my call and put contracts for additional cash. Thank you, gamblers. 64% say yes, I will. 36% say no. Might be because they're not in a position to do so. 119 thumbs ups right now. Thank you for that on a down day. Pretty good. Thank you, everybody, for the thumbs ups. If you find a moment to hit that button, please do. We're off on the markets now. Rocket Lab down 39 cents. SoFi down 58 at 607. GameStop down 188 at 1919. Matterport is only down 15 cents, back to 405. We've got Spire down 125 to 1078. We've got ATIP up 34 cents. SmartRent is down a dime. Apple down only 13 now, back down to 15. Tesla down 1988. Microsoft down 1913. Google is down 770. Amazon down 1260. Nvidia down 1234. Meta down 31.80. These are actually better. Goldman down 29. Cisco down $1. ARC down 3.40. Pfizer down $1.06. HBQ down 147. Unity down $1. And AI down 228. Both are recovering a little bit here. Adobe down $20. Spiders are down 20. Qs are down 20. Netflix down 21.60. IBM down 6.94. Vanik down 13.40. Home Depot down 5.30. Enphase down 7.38. Palantir down 2.40. And Uber down 3.30 a share at the moment. See if this continues on. Welcome everyone to the program. Let's get an overview again. The Dow at the moment is down 1,199. That's 3%. S&P down 4% at 213. We got the Nasdaq down 5.4%, 5.3%. Nasdaq's not quite so bad. Down 890. It was down about 1,000. Oil down 90 cents a barrel at 72.62 at the moment. It's going down in price. Welcome everyone to the show. Glad to have you here. Let's see. Yes, my phone is blowing up with alerts. A lot of stocks 10% down or more. Who cares? Good morning, everybody. Brian, I have 21 price alerts right now. Puddin', 415 viewers with Uncle Bruce watching the markets collapse. That's kind of what happens when markets do really well. I get views, and when they do really badly, I get views. My bottom line here is, if you're an option writer, do not fear the upside of these stocks. There is no way in hell that Nvidia at 90 something a share right now, 95, is going to 140 next week. No matter what they say, no matter what anyone thinks, that's not going to happen. The possibility for Nvidia, 10% either way, easily. That's what we're doing already. We're down 10% now. This stock could pop 10% at any time on the upside and could go down another 10%. Hence why, if you're an option writer, you're aware of this, and you're going, okay, all right, you want to play this game, Nvidia? I'll tell you what, I'll do put credit spreads. How about 75.80s? How about 80 to 85s? $500 spread between the put I'm writing and the put I'm buying back. Give me a buck and a half, and it expires this week, next week, or the week after. I'm willing to play this game. I dare you to keep coming down this low. On the other hand, you can do call options, call credit spreads with Nvidia, writing 110s to 20s, somewhere in there. Can do exactly the same thing. On GameStop, we're at 1951. We were 1770 in the pre-market. We haven't touched 1770 on the open market. We're at 1961, the low of the day, 1878. The high of the day, where we are right now, 1960, 63. Volume, 3.7 million shares. Great opportunity to write cash secured puts. Great opportunity to do credit spreads on puts or on calls. Great opportunity to buy back calls for a fraction of what you sold them for and write new calls at a lower strike. Perfect timing. One, Uncle Bruce, SoFi is holding great. It's amazing. 618. The company makes more money now than they've ever made in their past. And if interest rates drop, SoFi goes higher. Why people are selling SoFi? They need the money for margin calls. There's nothing wrong with SoFi. Stephen Butler, number 131. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, all of you, for these thumbs ups. Thank you for answering the poll question. Thank you for being here. I want you to be aware of the big picture. There are hedge funds and specialty investment entities, institutional investment entities, over-leveraged in the market, getting their butts handed to them. greedy bastards that they are. And the carry trade folks who are borrowing money cheap from one country's banks and playing the game of the American dollar going up against these currencies and playing the game of the US markets going up overall and leveraging the whole thing are getting their butts handed to them. And it takes barely a 5% move in the overall markets to cause complete disarray amongst these entities. And so the more money they made, the greedier they got, the more leverage they became, thinking they couldn't lose. And there were a whole bunch of entities out there convinced that going forward, the American people would elect a convicted felon to the White House with massive promises of tax breaks and tax deductions and all kinds of corporate breaks, less regulation. They were convinced this is a guarantee, and they leveraged up to the nines, and now they are getting their butts handed to them left, right, and center because he's the old man now. He isn't the young guy. He's the old guy. And economists are going, gee, if you kind of reduce taxes and increase tariffs, you're going to add inflation to the mix for the U.S. consumer. And that means the Fed will have to raise interest rates. That's a market killer. And right now what we're getting is the carry trade killer. And this is this is just a taste of what's waiting the American markets going forward. But hey, Americans have to decide for themselves, who do you believe and what do you think the right policy is for the American economy? And you decide who you want to vote for and how. And we on the outside will just play the market. And as option writers, it doesn't matter. If you're truly an option writer, you're a very liquid investor. You don't even have to own stock to play this game. And there's the ultimate protection against this kind of volatility. To not even own stocks, only be an option writer. Credit spreads, cash secured puts, poor man covered calls, you can play it that way. Again, you decide for yourself what turns you on the most versus what holds you back, and then you go from there. For those of you who are shareholders of companies and you're never going to sell your stock because if you sell the stock, you have a tax problem, or if you used to be with a company and you just can't bear to not be a shareholder anymore, it's okay. It's all right. You'll write calls. You'll buy back calls that you wrote last week, last month, last quarter from that are way down in price. Turn around and write new calls 5-10% ahead of the market. Don't worry about it. You'll be just fine. Brian, August 16, $26 cash ticket puts on GameStop roll down to 22 or 23 or lower. Well, it's a question of, can you do a roll to October to January 25 and bring it down nice and low with a nice little premium gain? Can you pull it off? Is it just a break-even trade that brings you $3, $4, $5 lower strike price? Knock yourself out. We're at 1930 on GameStop, kind of resilient. Don't forget, GameStop has right now in its bank account $10 a share in cash, $4.2 billion in dollars, hauling in interest at probably 4.5-5%. Remember, they got this money a couple of months ago before the rates fell off. They probably pulled off some pretty nice treasury trades, and they're hauling in probably $160 million a year in interest, give or take, right now. $3 million a week in interest, something like, give or take. GameStop's doing just fine. They're making money. They're actually making money. They're making more money on their money than from their retail operations. So yeah, this stock is trading at $9 above its cash value. Not bad. SoFi 611 down 54 cents. Nvidia only down 10.45. We're already recovering a bit. These put credit spreads might be the right idea. Call credit spreads, the higher it goes, the further out you go with call credit spread. Thank you very much. Rocket Lab down 34, Matterport down 12. The Dow down 1,200 points at this moment in time. That is what I'm showing. 1217, a drop 3.06%. We've got the S&P 500 down 3.7%. That's actually improving, down 199. And we've got the NASDAQ market down 4.9. That's actually about 2% better, still down 820, but there's some moderation coming in here on these. The VIX is at 55.07. It is still way up there, but it's been higher. It got up to 65 this morning. It's now at 55, a little bit better. Still up, way up, but not as bad as it was. Oil down 97 cents a barrel, 72.55. That is the story so far. It looks like the three big markets, the Dow, the S&P, and NASDAQ, all seem to be moderating and improving a little here and there so far. 1150 point drop on the Dow, make it 1147. S&P down 193, now down only 190, and NASDAQ down 773 from that 1,000 point drop to start the morning. Welcome all to the party. How you doing? Opportunity knocks for those of you to take cash from the gamblers. Oh, you got to buy back low and create another batch of calls or puts or whatever you're going to do and take in more money. Absolutely grab cash. Absolutely take money from these people. There's no guarantee these markets go straight back to where they were. We might gain a few hundred points and then go lower. Yeah, that could be it. You might be buying back calls later today that you wrote this morning. I don't know. You're here to go, hey, if you want to hand me $3 a share on a flip, I'll write a call for $8 and buy it for $5 today. Okay, I'll turn around and write another call on something different, strike different, whatever. I'll bring in 8 again. You want to hand it, just hand it to me. I don't care what direction it comes from. I'll take the money. Money is money is money is money. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the party, pal. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the thumbs ups if you're able to give us one. If you're enjoying the content, finding it useful, finding it interesting, finding it knowledgeable, something you hadn't thought about before, angle about this market. 140 thumbs up so far. Appreciate you on that. 260 votes are in on today's poll question. I'm going to use this sell-off to roll my calls and puts for added cash. 62%. I'm definitely going to do that out of 260. Yes, sir. I'm going to take advantage of this market. I'm going to bring in more cash into my account. Why not? They're giving it to you. You let the gamblers be the option buyers. You be the casino. Take the wagers and say, thank you, sir. May I have another? Don't see a problem with this. We're down at we're at 1,065 on the Dow. Now it's down only 1,043. We're improving here, down 2.6% from 3.1. This is in 5 minutes. We've had a half a percentage point increase in the value of the Dow in the last 5 minutes. S&P down 174, only down 3.2%, and NASDAQ 701 down 4.2. So we definitely have a rebound coming. Looks like GameStop's a 1970 something, 1974 high today, 1980. So we're improving here, 4.4 million traded. Tesla is at 196.50 something. The high today, 196.60. We're near the high today on Tesla. Let's see what else have we got going on here. AI is only down 158. We were down $3 this morning. We're at 1980 on GameStop. We're going higher. SoFi 622 down only 43 cents. Volume on SoFi now 12.9 million in 18 minutes. That's a very good start. We got serious buying coming in on SoFi here. Moving up this market, the low of 601. We're now 622. The high of the day 624. We're right there on SoFi, down only 43 cents now. NVIDIA down 830. We're improving. Rocket Lab down 27. Matterport down 11. Smart Rent down 9. We got Apple down 1060. Tesla down 1090. Google down only $5. Microsoft down 14. Netflix down 17. Meta down 21. And Amazon down 920. All of these stocks are improving. They've all rebounded off of their lows. And that can continue. Again, momentum begats more momentum. So we'll see if this recovery continues on or not. Spider at 516, they were down to 510. The triple Qs are 432.80. They got down to 423. So we have rebounded here on the two indexes, definitely. Super Micro 578, down $46 a share. Low today 529. High in the last 52 weeks. 12 129 is the high for 52 weeks on Supermicro. And that is all in the last just a few months ago. The high of the 1200 range was right around this year, March. And we've had several times where we broke 1,000, where we backed off into the 700s a few times to get back to 1,000. Right now, 580 on Super Micro. Uber down 207 at 56.92. Adobe down 1825 at 507.90, and AMD down 201 to 130. Unity down only 66 cents. Enphase down 471. We've got Moderna down 165, Cisco down 138, Pfizer down 71, IBM down 590, HPQ down 130, Home Depot down 599, Vanik Semiconductors improving down 930. We were as low today on this stock. 1 minute, we're down to 200. We're back to 209 on Vanik, the SMH. That's a nice improvement. There you go. Markets are improving. Now only down 930 on the Dow, 160 on S&P, and 660 on the NASDAQ markets. 2.3 for the Dow, 3% for S&P, 4% for NASDAQ. Oil still down, but only down 61 cents. That's the story. Treasuries are now paying 3.7% on the 10-year, and Germany 2.1%, Italy 3.6%, Spain 3%, UK 3.8% at the moment. The Japan 10-year will pay 7.75, 0.75%. That's all it's paying. We have the euro at 109.82, gaining on the American dollar by about 2/3 of a penny, where the yen is down 3.8, pound is off 1/4 of a penny at the moment. That is the story over there. European markets are still down 3% on London, down 3.1 in Germany, 2.7 in France, 3.7% in Italy, and Spain down 3% right now. U.S. markets down 940 on the Dow, 150 on S&P, 644 NASDAQ, oil down 65. The VIX is at 51.98 after hitting 65-ish this morning. It's now 51 and still falling, which is good. The VIX is backing off on this volatility index. Welcome to the party, pal. Nice to have you here this morning. Is anyone having trouble signing in on Schwab? Lame Duck wants to know. White Feather rolled my SMCI August 30 Iron Condor for a net 120 credit. Rolled, strikes down, some expiring, and out of the money again. Good job, White Feather. This is the name of the game. Manage your contracts. Manage your portfolio. This is the name of the game. AI down only 174 after being down 330. GameStop 1973, high of the day 1990, trying to get back to $20 on 4.6 million. We've got SoFi 626, down 39 cents. A high of the day 629. We're right here at the highs on 14.3 million traded, with a drop of just 37 cents now. The low of the day, 601. That was 27 cents ago. This is nice recovery on SoFi, and it looks to be continuing. It looks like the buying is outdoing the selling. No question, no drama here. That's what should be happening. SoFi is ridiculously cheaply priced. Congratulations, any of you who scored some this morning. Well done. It's still cheap. You can keep buying it. Giddy up. We got Tesla down 10.50. Low of the day 182. We're now 197. $15 recovery on Tesla. Pretty good. Very, very good moves here, and powerful recovery on these markets. All right, everybody. NVIDIA down 870 at 98. The low was 90.69. We're at 98.57. We've almost come halfway back from its lows of the session, and we're only 23 minutes into the day. So you can sure see the recovery after the first sell-off, now the bounce up at the moment. We'll see how much more there is to it. Will there be another bounce? Will it test the lows and bounce off? Do we recover for the rest of the day? How is this going to play out? We got a lot to watch here. Welcome, everyone, to the program. B Tizzle, Schwab is down for me too. Lame duck, I can't get in either. There you go. AI 2266 now. GameStop 1980 coming on again on GameStop. It's offered at 83, 85, 89, hundreds, only hundreds available on the stock. Buying is 3, 4, 500, 200 blocks all over the place. Selling blocks are 100 to 150 shares, a couple of 200s. So there's more buying power than selling power showing at the moment on GameStop. Again, that's not a surprise. We overcooked the sell-off, and now we're recovering at the moment. Welcome to the party, pal. Do you sell your GameStop now at 1977 and write $20 cash secured puts? Do you do that? Can you bring in a big fat premium to do that? Or do you write $22 calls right now? You buy back your 25s and 27s and 30s and write 22s with a 1977 market right now. That's the question. 630 on SoFi. What do you do? Is it going to go back to $7 a share by the end of the week? You'll be up 70 cents from here. Not a bad trade, not a bad move. NVIDIA 98.76, only down 8.50 right there. Giddy up, everybody. What do we got here? Brian, cash secured puts on SoFi. 7s, 8s for Jan 25. What do you think? If you write 7s, they're only in the money 70 cents. A $1 move, they're worthless. If you write 8s, $1.70 in the market. You'll get $1 more, obviously, because of the book value. But, you know, between now and January, with the 4th consecutive quarter of profits and then the 5th consecutive quarter of profits, how do you want to play this? Medium term, longer term? Exactly. It's Richard. I'm using Thinkorswim instead of Schwab right now. Down 1,077 on the Dow at the moment, with this market fluctuating back and forth, which is really what we have to have here to shake this one out. We're down 2.7 on the Dow, 3.3%, 177 points on S&P. We're down 4.1% on NASDAQ, 700 at the moment. Oil down 72 cents a barrel. Welcome all to the party, pals. Nice to have you here. Nice to see you joining us. Hope you're cashing in on some nice premiums today. Able to create new credit spreads, new cash secured put levels, new deep in the money call transactions, poor man covered call writing, covered call writing, and credit spreads. Hoping for all of it working in your favor. This is one hell of a day we got going on here, and there are opportunities galore. Thank you, all of you who are joining this channel as new members. If you're becoming a Gold Bagel member today, upgrading to a Gold Bagel member, I congratulate you. You're able to grab a 30-minute pre-market show before I even start this show, and of course Wednesday nights, Prime Time Live. We go live every Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, just for Gold Bagel members, and we can talk about your trades and your strategies and whatever you want to ask me. There you go. Richard, I am writing 2250s on GameStop. Well done. Take the cash. Vilbus, I can't get into Schwab either. I was able to log in pre-market, but I can't now. Again, I can't answer these guys. I have no idea. Many of you are so happy with Tasty Trade. Some of you are delirious with other outfits. You got to find the outfit that works for you wherever you are. And again, Europeans have their brokerage firms. Canadians have theirs. Americans have theirs. You got to figure out where it is you're going to trade and how. And if you're not getting consistent performance, you've got to move. And easiest thing to do is move cash, because cash moves a lot faster than positions without any question whatsoever. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for joining me this morning. Welcome to the party, pal. SoFi 631, high of the day, 633 on 15.5 million. SoFi down just 34 cents a share, a 30-cent improvement from this morning's losses. We've come back almost one half of all the losses on SoFi have been recovered already, and we're only 28 minutes into the day. Very interesting what's going on. Little Chaos is saying it's really active day. E-Trade is giving me issues all day today. JJ, Down detector is showing login issues with many trading platforms. Very interesting. The internet is being overrun by retail investors trying to get in. This is one of those glitches that the market has from time to time when we're as active as we are. Welcome all. Let's see what's going on here. Sign in to Thinkorswim, says Lorraine. Splair, good morning, y'all. And I am. What a crazy day. B. Tizzle, I use Thinkorswim for charts, and they were taken over by Schwab. Thinkorswim is working this morning, though. There you go. 1,062-point drop on the Dow. AI down 170. GameStop down 138 to 1969. SoFi up to 632. NVIDIA 99.79, down 748. It's trying to get back over 100. Rocket Lab down 26 cents. It's improving. Matterport is down 8. It's improving at 412. SmartRent 161 down a dime. ME 37.7 cents. Apple down 11.70 at 208. Tesla down 9.60 at 198. Google down 597 at 162.40. Microsoft down 15, 393.50. Netflix down $15 at 598.50. Meta down 21.70 at 466, and Amazon is down 775, 160.15. Looks like those guys are higher and improving from the lows. The spiders are down 17. Qs are down 14. They've come up as well. As Supermicro is improving, 587, down $37. That's improving. Uber down 223, Adobe down 20, AMD down $1.22. It's coming on. AMD just went green, up 14 cents on AMD. We're green on AMD. We're down 830 on the Dow. We just had a 200-point pop to the upside. A buy program just kicked into the market all over the place. 1996 on GameStop, 1998 going for 20 right now. SoFi 640 popped, just popped. NVIDIA $100, 72 cents. A Rocket Lab just popped up to 460. Matterport is only down 7.5. Markets are coming on right now. They're coming on. Tesla only down 8. It's about to hit 200 a share. Google down 570. Microsoft down 1290. Netflix down 1096 right now. Welcome to the program. GameStop broke 20. There you have it. GameStop 2006 on GameStop, and SoFi 642 right now on the SoFi shares. A Splair, I'm up 600 on my 2 GameStop calls, and they're in total up $2,000 at 1060 per call. Smiling, happy, loving life. Way to go, pal. We got the Dow down 800 instead of down 1,000. So we definitely have an improvement here. We're now 770 on the downside for the Dow, loss of 120 on the S&P and 490 on NASDAQ. All markets improving. The Dow 1.9%, S&P down 2.3, and NASDAQ down 2.9. All 3 markets have come back nicely so far and are still climbing at the moment. Momentum begats momentum, kids. There's the story. Lorraine, guys, turn off your computer or sell and reboot. See if that'll help you with your Thinkorswim. Down 770 on the Dow. 114 loss on AI. That's improving by $2. GameStop down 98 cents. 2009, 2013, 2014. This is a high of the session of 2015 on GameStop. 644, SoFi down 21 cents. Definitely improving. This is the high range of the day. 16.5 million. Nothing for sale all of a sudden. It's running back, down only 20 cents on SoFi. NVIDIA down 580. Rocket Lab down 17. Matterport down 5-6 cents. We got Apple down 990. Tesla down 744. Google down 530. Microsoft down 1270. Netflix down 1180. Facebook down $15. Amazon down 660. All improving right now. AMD up 80 cents. It turned green first. We're up on ATIP 34 cents. We got 2 little greens in all of this sea of red. I'm showing Texas Instruments up 57 cents. That's another one just barely turned green. Carnival down 39 cents. Norwegian down 59. They're trying to come back. Who else is about to break even? DraftKings is down 74. American Airlines down 19. Disney down just $1. Walmart down 75 cents. Trying to come back to go green. Home Depot only down 250. It's coming back. HPQ down 113. Pfizer down 70 or so. Cisco down $1. Unity only down 49 cents, trying to come back. Let's see if anyone else is working on this as we're looking for any green right now. Rocket Lab down 19 cents. SoFi 644 down 22. The Dow down 831. Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you here. Brian, the spreads on options on GameStop are huge right now. Might need to wait for everything to mellow out. Stink bids, stink offers. That's what you got to do with GameStop contracts now. Luke, I rolled 2 SoFi October 8 puts down to January 7th for a $70 credit. Take me out at $465. Anytime I'll buy this stuff at $465. Well done. 2010, 2011 on GameStop. High of 2019 now. On that stock. Tesla got up to 201.60. We're at 199. So we're watching stocks trying to hit better highs so far this morning. Welcome, everyone, to the program. Nice to see you here. Some of you were able to pull off some nice rollovers here, and why not? Do not be afraid. Don't be afraid to write 20, 21, 22.50 calls on GameStop. Don't be afraid. Take the money. Take the cash. Dare them. Write January 22.50s on GameStop. Yeah, take the premium and 22.50. Sure. Yeah, see if that happens. You'll just buy it back. Write 26s, 27. Don't worry. You'll keep making money on this stuff. It's okay. Giddy up, guys. 646 on the SoFi, down 19 cents. This is the high of the day. 646, 649 now is going through on SoFi. 649, 17.2 million. There's nothing here. Stock's drying out. 2013, 2033 on GameStop. Just jumped again. 2033 down 80 cents, down 75-ish cents on GameStop. We're moving higher. Less than a $1 drop. The low of the day on your GameStop, 1878. There it was, and here we are. Giddy up, kids. 880-point drop on the Dow. NVIDIA only down 580, 101.39. NVIDIA right back over 100 again. Here we go again. Tesla going back up, 199. It's coming back to 200 again. Microsoft 394 down 14. Amazon down 740 a share. Meta down 16. Giddy up, guys. We got the market moving higher. It's improving in spots. I mean, of course, overall volatility, but we're not as bad off as we were this morning. Nowhere near this. Interesting. Very interesting day. 2020 on your GameStop, holding a pretty good recovery so far. Seem to be going up 3 steps, down 1 or 2, up 3, down 1 or 2. We're climbing back on GameStop. SoFi 642 down 23 cents. Same thing here. We surge, pull back a bit, surge higher, pull back a bit. Not enough stock to stop it at the moment. Greed is kicking in. People are going, ooh, I'm getting in on this. That's what's happening now. Don't be afraid to write. Take money from the gamblers and say thank you. Really appreciate the easy money. Really appreciate the easy money is what you've got to be saying for sure. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for becoming members. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. Thank you for following us. Thank you for the thumbs ups. And thank you for answering the poll question today. Appreciate that. Thumbs up meter now, 153. Trying to get to 200 plus. Thank you for that. Let's see, here we go. We've got the poll question now. 287 votes are in. And with today's sell-offs, I'm going to roll my call and put options for added cash. Thank you, gamblers. 61% saying, yeah, I'm going to take this money. And most of you are going to say, yeah, for sure. They're going to hand it to me. I'm taking it. And why not? 936 drop on the Dow. Waiting to see if we have another buy wave coming on. We'll see what's going on. Excuse me. Thank you all for being with me today. We're only off 17 on Rocket Lab. 465. We're down 15 on Rocket Lab. We're climbing 648 to 650 on SoFi. Looks like SoFi wants to climb again. Let's see how this plays itself out. We are jumping around. We got the 649, and I see 636, 640. So we're getting all kinds of quotes now all over the map. We got volatility kicking in. GameStop down 89 at 2018. And now I'm showing 1985. So I've got some of my quotes behind, some of my quotes ahead right now as we are getting volatility coming through here. Welcome to the party, everybody. Nice to see you, and get ready to write. Okay. All right. Thank you. Brian, GameStop, Jan 30 calls are around 350 right now. Still pretty good for premiums indeed. Auntie Jen, good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
You're getting spoiled.
Ooh, you gotta love that great
I kind of
jelly
like this
bagel.
though. I'm out there just deciding what you get.
You're just deciding what I get, and what I get is what I get, and that's the end of the story.
That's right.
Take it and shut up.
That's right. But I mean, today and Friday are easy ones
True.
because, of course, I can't believe jelly fell off. I do the hanging test. It must have been in a hole.
That must have happened.
So how's the bleeding?
Well, for a while today, the Dow Jones was down to 38,500. We're now at 38,820. So we're 330 points better. Still down 900, but we've come back 300, and we were just in the 600s. So we had a wave and a pullback, but we were getting like this up 3, down 1 or 2, up 3 steps, down 1 or 2. That's what we're getting now, this kind of pattern.
Yeah.
This might continue for the rest of the morning into the afternoon, the way this is looking.
For a while.
Yeah, we had some stocks way off, but now recovering. GameStop got down to 1873. Ooh. It's 1973. It just had 2030 a moment ago.
1973. Mm-hmm. Very good year.
Was it?
I don't know.
Was it? Yeah, so we're getting volatility all over the place. SoFi, the low, 601.
Whoa.
Cindy B.
Wow.
Cindy.
Yes, but where'd she
pre-market, 592 buy. She bought them.
Wow.
637 right now. We're only down 28 cents on SoFi.
Yeah.
If the Fed's going to drop interest rates, SoFi's going to $12. Banks.
And we say this all the time. You take what the market wants to give you. The market wanted to give you a sale this morning. It's a going back to school sale.
Oh, baby. Good times. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Everyone's saying hi to you.
Hi, everybody.
Larry Titus, Richard, J-Boy.
And Richie.
Double D is saying Schwab is down. Juan. Brian, that $30 call is a heck of a good one on GameStop.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's a great one to buy back for cheaper, or it's a good one to write. Mm-hmm. You decide. You want to take a $3 in cash for a $30 takeout? That's $33.
Right. Ain't nobody gonna look down at that.
Oh no. Good morning, Auntie Jen from J. Gill.
Hey, John.
Juan Velasquez. Good morning, Auntie Jen.
Good morning, Juan. All is good.
Yeah, I explained that.
Is everybody out there thinking nice heritage thoughts for
Canada?
Alberta?
Canada Heritage Day?
No, you know what this one is called? Again, I heard on the radio this morning. In Alberta, it's Heritage Day, where it used to be Civic Day. Well, in the Northwest Territories, it's the first Monday of August holiday.
Haven't gotten around to naming it yet.
No. Well, they named it, and it's absolutely true. So I guess our guys weren't as lazy as they could have been. That yeah, she could have just called it the first Monday of August.
No, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who are not aware,
we need a holiday every month.
Here in Canada,
that's what we need.
Here in Canada, we have some divisions of opinion. Certain regions of this country feel differently to other regions of this country. Quebec, Ontario, Western Canada, everybody else, the Maritimes.
Maritime.
So here in Alberta, they're calling this holiday Monday for us Heritage Day.
Used to be Civic Day.
Yeah. You ask an Alberta oil man, well, what do they call today in Ontario? In Eastern Canada, where all the banks are? Center of the Universe Day. That's what they call it. Snidely.
Yes. Speaking of the East Coast, are we all thinking good thoughts for Florida? It is getting swacked.
Florida's getting hit.
Yes, it is getting hit.
It's going up the coast. Georgia,
Calling
Carolinas.
it a generational storm and
flooding.
all those words we hear a lot of now.
Not good. I'm relieved to see this storm will be nowhere near New York when we get there. It will have gone.
It will have blown itself out.
Gone.
Some new storm will be threatening, I'm sure.
I want a nice, calm
But they do.
Atlantic Ocean sea crossing. Thank you very much.
I know. But these big ships, they can take a lot.
I don't care.
We've been in a bad storm. We know they can take a lot.
We know, but I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
I want a nice, calm crossing the week after a storm. That's what I want. After.
Post.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh.
Welcome to the party, pal. We're down 950 on the Dow. GameStop, 1982, coming back.
There you go.
SoFi, 641, hanging right in there. NVIDIA, 9970, trying to come back over 100 again. Slayer, good morning, Auntie Jen. Bobby Atkinson.
Good talk, Slayer.
It's because Ontario is the greatest. I was born in Ontario, so of course, but I'm an export.
I was born in the West where we had bumper stickers that said, let the Eastern bastards freeze in the dark.
There you go. Beach Boy. Hi there, Auntie Jen.
Hi,
My
Beach Boy.
SOFA average was 723, so I had to buy more at 616 to 623. It's the jellies. It's the jellies bagels' fault.
It's the jelly bagel's fault. What can he say?
Way to go, buddy. 640 on that SoFi. Go, baby, go. Bobby. Well, at least you can't forget it. Lorraine. August 1st in Canada. Used to be a different name. I can't remember it now.
Yeah.
Beach Boy bought back some GameStop covered calls. 83% gains. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, sir. Juan, I got 319
goodness.
for the January 30 calls on GameStop. I'll take it. Thank you very much.
Yes.
313 premium for
insist.
a contract that is $10.12 out of the money.
If they insist on offering that,
take the cash
take
and say,
the money
thank you,
and
sir. May I have another?
Did you get a sesame seed?
I don't know what I got.
Past a tonsil?
I'm so excited.
You don't have tonsils.
No, I don't.
There's a good poll question. How many of those adults out there still have their tonsils? I don't know if they take them out as, it used to be every kid had their tonsils taken out. And I don't think they do that anymore. I don't know.
I don't know. No. It used to be 2 nights in the hospital to do it.
Well, I don't want to say
when I had mine taken out.
The kids out there are going to think I'm ancient, but my older brother had his tonsils taken out on our kitchen table. We're talking rural people here, honey. Yeah. The doc used to come to your house and do those simple routine operations.
Oh, my God. My God.
I can remember getting my vaccinations and inoculations. He'd come to the house and do everybody at once.
Oh, everyone in the house.
Yeah.
I had my tonsils taken out in 1968.
Ooh,
maybe.
in a hospital.
In the hospital. Yeah. 2 nights. The promise was, once you get your tonsils taken out, you can have all the ice cream you want.
Yeah.
Because of the soothing nature.
Any.
The problem is you can't swallow a damn thing because of the
pain. And it's milk. It's milk.
Yeah, well,
they're putting down
ice cream.
Can you imagine? Ice cream, Lieutenant Dan. Ice cream.
Austrian.
No, you still have. I'm.
Mm.
I was thinking I should leave it there. I don't know.
So helpful, isn't she?
I don't know.
So giving. So wonderful. Oh, I'm going to give you this today.
Oh, okay. I have been looking for that.
Then I'm going to give you this back.
Are you?
As soon as I'm finished it.
Okay.
Mm.
The plate. It must be reminiscent of your teenage boy room that the plates just pile up in the corner, under the bed, on a dresser.
I wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No eating in your room.
Clean. Everything was clean. At least I thought so. Now, Cindy B, I've been out of the country. I've been on out of the country trips about 6 years ago, where we wanted to stay. What we wanted to say we were from Canada.
Ah.
So we would want to say that. J-Boy, I still have my tonsils. I'm too old to have them removed now.
Me too.
I'm 46.
They're staying. They're in for the duration now.
Charlie C2. Bagel time. Beach Boy, tonsils on the kitchen table. Yummy! Larry, tonsils gone. Adenoids gone. Wisdom teeth gone. Appendix present and accounted for. Oh, boy. Still got my appendix.
There you go. Yeah.
My mother and father both had appendicitis attacks. I have not.
No. And I mean, you don't want them now.
Ooh.
Now we're too old to it.
No, we don't want that.
No, don't do it now.
No.
It's
Always
like the chicken pox parties and the mumps parties. Get them when the kids are little. Much easier on them.
Definitely.
Do them as an old person? Ew. Not fun at all.
Well, we're down 903 on the Dow. We might be coming back on again. GameStop, 1999. We're coming back on. Maybe back to $20 on GameStop.
I was going to flirt with 20. Get back over there.
Mm.
Well, people, again, not everybody jumps out of bed and turns on the market. So it takes time for some people to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And Canadians are on holiday. Maybe Canadians are camping today.
Camping, hoping it doesn't rain so they can pack up a dry tent. Lots of festivals this weekend. It is the weekend of festivals. Can't swing a dead cat without hitting a festival.
Festival time in Canada.
I've always thought that was such an endearing little saying. Can't swing a dead cat. Where did that start?
Did you know that in the old West of the USA, back when cowboys, came and went and were ranching, from time to time, a cowboy would come.
Were you walking like a cowboy there? Is that what that was?
Time to time, a cowboy would come to town, come into a bar.
Saloon.
With saloon, he wouldn't have any currency on him. But he'd come up to the bar and he put a bullet on the bar, and the bartender would pour him a whiskey. It's called a shot. Coming in for a shot. The bartender would take the bullet as currency for a shot of whiskey. That's where that term came from.
See, isn't that cool?
Give me a shot.
I do like that.
Yeah,
I
how
find
about
it
that?
fascinating how we have words that have changed and we have words that are the same.
Mm-hmm.
The word cool has always been cool.
The word
it's
cool
always meant that.
Cool.
It's always been cool.
Of course, in the Wild West,
so cool.
you used to have guys. This is the forerunner to our modern day transport truck drivers. So in those days, you had guys with wagons that would move goods from one town to another town or city to city.
Yes.
And they would ride their horses, 2 horses, 4 horses with the wagon, and away you go. Well, you needed a guy beside you with a shotgun to protect you, because while you're handling the horses, you got a guy with a shotgun making sure that nobody messes with you guys.
Highwaymen.
And that's why we use the term "I'll ride shotgun" to this very day. A passenger in the front seat is riding shotgun.
Except in Canada, we don't actually have a shotgun.
We use strong words. You stay away from me. Don't you touch us.
We have knives.
Yeah, we have knives. Riding shotgun. That's where that came from. Riding shotgun. Yeah,
well, I hope the market has a good recovery.
Well,
I'm sure my coffee is made by now.
I'm sure it's ready for you by now.
Bye, everybody.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Auntie
great
Jen.
Monday.
Let's see if we can get
Let's see what
our people
this
richer today. I'm sure we will.
first week of August can prove to us.
Let's see what happens. Option writers are having a field day here.
Have we heard from Luca this morning? Is
Yes.
he still down south?
I don't know where
Down
Luca
under?
is. Luca did make a couple of comments this morning. Tried to catch one or two of them, but I don't know where he is.
Just curious.
But Jen
Where
says
in the
hi.
world are these
She
people?
says hi to Luca. If you're watching, Luca, all the best to you wherever you are. Thank you, Jen. Giddy up, kids. Oh my, dude, I'm just missing my wisdom teeth. It's not a judgment on my character. Financial mischief. Speaking of tonsils, mine were removed in 1991. Found out I had an allergy and stopped breathing. The only helicopter ride I've had was technically, clinically, I was not alive when they gave me the helicopter ride. Brian, I just got back from Halifax. I'm tired, but I did get lots of lobster scallops and a nice donair. Nice, dude. I've rolled nothing, just chilling. No need. We just wait and see. I did close some call spreads for profit though, and wrote a few more. Dude, good morning. Oh yeah, baby, dude. Andy, Jen, whoops. Thank you all, and appreciate you all being here. Great to have you in the house this morning. Following the Dow off now 1,000 points. We're down 160 on AI, 134 on GameStop, 1973 a share, 638 on SoFi, down 27. NVIDIA 99.66, down 7.76 a share. Rocket Lab down 20. We've got Matterport down 9.5 cents. We've got Apple down $11. Tesla down 12.46. Google down 4.80. Microsoft down 12.91. Netflix down 13.49. Meta down 19.38. Amazon down 8.75. With the Dow off right now 1,000 odd points. Let's get this updated here. 970 points. That's a 2.4% drop for the Dow Jones. Compare this to what happened in Japan today. Japan started first. All of Asia has come and gone. They will drop 12.5% today. Japan stocks dropped 5 times worse than the Dow. So this move from the Dow, very reassuring to the Japanese market. This could lead to a nice recovery on overnight prices or in the morning prices in Asia. So we'll watch for that. Okay. We saw 12.5% drop on the Nikkei. We saw on the Asia Dow 7%. We saw a Hang Seng in Hong Kong 1.4%. Shanghai down 1.5%. They didn't do what Japan did. Singapore down 4%. They may have an update tomorrow if the Dow does not deteriorate anywhere near Japan. And if the Dow wants to improve back to the maybe only lose 400 or 500 points today instead of losing 1,000, that would be like a 1% drop. That would reassure traders everywhere else that, okay, it's not so bad. We're going to be okay. And then we may have a couple of up days this week on bounce back trades, dead cat bounce trades. We'll be watching for that, folks. We'll be here, see what's going on. The ISM report reflects a sharp rebound in the services side of the U.S. economy. That could help the market. Again, some folks are saying interest rate cuts would be great for the market. Some are saying this would be bad for the market. So what should the Fed do or not do? It seems that they can't make the right trade no matter what they do. So we'll see what's going on over there. 1977, it would seem on GameStop right now. Let me take another peek here. 1974, 77 right now. The Dow off 1,000, S&P down 168, NASDAQ down 650. Oil down 97 cents to 72.55 a barrel. That is what I see right now at this moment in time on the markets. Recovery from the worst of the opening has happened. We had a partial recovery. A lot of stocks got half their losses back and a little more than that. Now we're slumping a little bit now. And is this just a pause and then we're going to have another run up? That is what we're waiting on. That's what we're watching for. We'll see what gives. We'll be here to watch it. Thank you all so very much for your joining me today and hanging out. We cannot thank you enough for your participation in this day today. As we're trying to figure out what the deal is out there. Again, thank you all for joining us. Again, the thumbs up meter keeps going. We're trying to roll up to 200 thumbs ups today. We have that last count now, 163 in the bin. Only need 37 more, and we've got ourselves 200 thumbs ups. Thanks, guys, for that. Let's see. Oh, here we go. We got Luca. Well, I didn't manage to do the rollout. I wanted IBK liquidated the stock for me. Lizzie took some nice profits on Palantir, covered call now. Wait for their earnings later today. Luca, I'd eat a big old something. Was up 20K now, down to 7, laughing out loud at the moment. Luca's not happy. The market is not working for him today. Let's see what else is going on. Thank you for joining in on the poll question. We now have 313 votes. Thank you, everybody. Going to roll my calls and puts for added cash. 62% say yes, 38 say no, can't do it, but 62 are saying I will. Giddy up, everybody. Thanks again for helping out with the thumbs ups today. Down off 1,037 now, 1,099. Okay, 170 thumbs ups, 30 to go. Thank you, kids. We're coming in to the 200 mark for thumbs ups today. Appreciate you. 1950 on GameStop after hitting a high of 2030, the low 1870. So we're kind of in the middle of the range right now for GameStop. We got Tesla 195.70. Down $12, the low 182, the high 201. We're Microsoft down $13, Meta down 21, Nvidia down 9-ish, and Amazon is off about 970 a share. That's the story. I'm sticking to it right now on where we're at with this market. 638 on the SoFi shares, 1956 on GameStop, 2264 on AI. Nvidia $99, down $8.40 a share at the moment. Apple at 208, Tesla 195.40, Google 162.60, Microsoft 394.60, Netflix 595.80, Meta 466.80, down 21, Amazon 158.22 at this moment in time. I don't see any other green arrows at the moment. It's all red everywhere I look pretty well. Some stocks are close to breaking even, but we're going to need a 200 or 300 point rally before we start seeing any green arrows start to show up here and there. At the moment, these shares are underwater this morning, and we're going to have to find out the fallout from all these institutional gamblers out there, especially the leveraged hedge funds. How leveraged were they on the carry trade, where they were borrowing money from Japanese banks in yen, buying American stock in dollars, winning on the trades and the currency as the US dollar kept strengthening against the yen, and then they leveraged their American security play with options and derivatives, and in some cases they could be up to 20, 30, 40 leverage per dollar, and it might have been borrowed dollars. I don't know the answer because this information is not disclosed through the SEC. We're blind to what the deal is out there, how bad it is. The only way we're going to know is if we hear from central bankers out of Japan or elsewhere that certain banks in certain jurisdictions are getting cash calls or are in need of emergency funding to cover their loans. And that we won't know today. We'll probably hear later in the week, next week, just what's going on, how bad is it. Are regulators going to find out in the next few hours or days if any of their banks in their jurisdictions are undercapitalized? This is what we will find out. How many hedge fund players borrowed money using yen from Japanese lenders only to lose money on the currency, because we've gone from 161 to the dollar down to 140 odd something to the dollar. That's bad. And the markets have topped out a month ago. The Dow, NASDAQ, S&P, all the Magnificent Sevens, all of these guys have backed off from their highs to compound losses, including, and on top of that, the leverage That's what I'm curious about hearing. It's the leveraged carry trades that will come home to roost first, and we'll see just how bad this is going to be. There it is. There's the deal, guys. I don't have any more details at the moment, but we do see a definite price being paid by all investors who are long stock with the Dow off, S&P, NASDAQ lower. Option writers here are being compensated and are being cushioned from these massive liquidations because of option premiums on out-of-the-money contracts that have been written and now bought back and rewritten again. And if you can do that all day long, all week long, all month long, you will come out very nicely with a very good liquid position, and you're a winner, and people all around you might be the losers. I can only say, if you're a writer of put and call credit spreads, cash secured puts, poor man covered calls, or covered calls, you have put a big chunk of the risk of the market onto the backs of the option gamblers. And that's the way you want to play this game. Even if you have a down week and you're down 4% at the end of the week compared to where you were, but the market is down 12%, you're a winner. With a 4 or 5% gain in the market, you might be up 10, 12% on the other side, and you amplify your losses, amplify your wins, and minimize your losses doing option trading and writing strategies. Check out my classes on my website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. Head over there, check them out. There's 17 classes available for you if you want to learn how to write options and try to work it so that you put the onus on the gamblers, take the cash off the table, and bring capital into your retirement accounts, your 401ks, your Roths, your RRSPs, TFSAs, however you're doing it, and into your personal hands through margin accounts by writing options. This is the name of the game, taking money from the gamblers. It's what you've got to do. Thank you all. Richard, Niall, and Ricardo, thank you. Neat. Square, I'm going to wish you a relaxed day. I think it might be time to honor the mysterious forces behind this market that so many investors are just clueless about. It might be time to honor the Knights of Neat without any doubt whatsoever. If you really want to know why these markets do what they do, it's because these people have either been pleased or made angry, and we don't want to anger the Knights of Knee. So we honor the Knights of Knee with knee emojis across this chat. James of the Misty Tree, Brian, Nico, Larry, Titus, Boeing Tiger are absolutely on it immediately with knee emojis. Here they come. Larry, Titus, Boeing, Richard, Carlin. Here we go. Neat. No question about it. Open your windows, yell at the top of your lungs, neat, tell the rest of the world what they need to know and who really controls this market. Have a great Monday, says Puddin' Pie. Nico, good luck today, everybody. Thank you all for joining me today. And neat emojis to all of you. Nothing but the best of results to every one of you here. You all deserve it. Thank you again for following this YouTuber day in and day out. I'll be on tonight on my other channel, TWB, Traveling with Bruce. That'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern, and I'll see you here tomorrow morning. For Gold Bagel members, I'll see you first for the Trade Alert Show. Gold Bagel members get the first info, and then I'll see everyone here at 8:30 Eastern Time tomorrow, 1 hour before the opening until 1 hour after the opening, and we'll get the first 2 hours in together, see what's going on and where it's at. Keep on top of this market and keep an eye on this channel. You never know when I make a video. We'll stay on top of everything. Thank you, Howdy Partner. Thank you, Richard, Carl. I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. There you go. The yelling out of the house. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you shortly. Bye for now.